Keeping high-tech equipment like video cameras running in this heat and humidity is becoming quite a challenge. One camera is already shut down due to the condensation. Some of these palm trees and plants are hard enough to use as an axe themselves. Others are quite soft, and the machete makes short work of gathering the supplies I need to make a good shelter. It's time to get busy. I'm told that there are some caterpillars that if they're smooth, probably like this one, that I might be able to eat them. But I'm also told that there are caterpillars here that can pretty much kill you if you touch them once. I don't think I'm going to take the chance. I can use the same knowledge here that comes from thousands of miles away to split these branches. It's the method used in North America by the Ojibwe to split spruce roots. The edges of these are razor sharp, so you've got to be really careful when you split them. I'm just gonna put all of these palm leaves on here, just like shingles. All right, this is home. Far up the Amazon River tributary, I've got my jungle shelter built of cane and palm leaves. It may help to keep off the rain, but sleeping on the ground is a last option out here. There are more poisonous creatures than I can count or mention, but a short list is scorpions, stinging ants, and snakes, including palm vipers, bushmasters, and the deadly fer-de-lance. So I've got a tough judgment call to make, getting a fire going or getting myself off the ground for the night. Well, looks like I made the right decision as far as platform versus trying to get a fire going. Here comes the rain again. Well, it might be in between thunderclouds here. I'm gonna do this sort of without rhyme or reason. I'm just gonna cut something off I can use just to get me through the night. Yeah, I hear you. Just give me 15, 20 minutes here. Come on, yeah. 15 minutes, not 3. Okay. Oh, that's the wool. Come on with me. The lower section of the balloon itself is made of wool, which will be really handy. But all my movement out in the open like this can attract dangerous predators. Now it can rain. Huh. The coolest thing, the bottom of this basket has a big foam sponge, so that's going to give me a nice cushion to lie on, and that'll help. It's not going to stop a lion, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve yet for protection. At least I'll be drying here tonight anyway. Well, the driftwood I've got, this should do just fine. It's good and solid, that's for sure. A little bit exposed, but I can cover it up. One thing's for sure, I want to get this shelter up now. It might be fair weather at the moment, but you never know how long that's going to last. And out here on the northwest Pacific coast of Alaska, rain is the usual way. Sunny and warm is the exception to the rule. I better get a shelter up now while I can. It's way better to spend all these calories now building the shelter on this day rather than waiting until day 6 or 7 when I'm really exhausted. Keep forgetting I haven't really had anything to eat for 3 days. Beach combing score. Gotta like it. One man's garbage is another man's gold. One old hunk of plastic saves me a lot of waterproofing. Let's see if I can block up that drafty hole. Every little bit helps. I wasn't gonna do this, I was just gonna sleep on the sled, but the wind's cutting across the lake, so Might come closer into the bush here and sleep with the dogs, I guess.
Tonight, the wind is picking up on the ocean, so sleeping in the sled, although it would be comfortable, is not an option. I figure on making a simple bow bed.
That ought to do. Just something to get me up here and out of the wind. Hey. Come here. Come here.
After a full day of running dogs and dealing with fights and wrong turns on the trail, I'm exhausted. I'm hoping I can do without a fire for the night. This time I have the luxury of an old sleeping bag and an axe to get me through this week. It could be an awful mistake not making a shelter, but sometimes the lack of energy can dictate just how much I can accomplish. Then it comes down to hoping that Mother Nature is kind and gives me just this one break.
Well, you can see obviously one of my survival items is an axe. There's two reasons for that. Number one is that no self-respecting dog sledder would ever go out in the bush without an axe. Number two is that whether I'm making a Survivorman show or not, you won't find me out in the Canadian North in the winter without an axe. Not a chance. This tree here is where I'm gonna make my shelter. Now I've chosen it because it's a strong enough tree for me to climb on if I had to get up out of the way of a lion. And it looks like I should be able to climb it quickly.
There's an obvious huge advantage having the balloon material as a tarp in lion territory. Still though, it always amazes me that you can feel almost protected from lions, or even bears for that matter, with just a thin piece of nylon. It really just is a false sense of security. But I'll take it for now.
Really, by all standards, it's a bit of a paradise compared to what I'm usually used to. Now, I'm still very exposed here, very wide open to lions if were they to come in, so there's something else I can do here that most people do to protect your shelter from lions, and that's find some good solid thorn trees and circle the whole perimeter with thorn trees. This is the first time I've ever made a door out of a thorn bush, let me tell you. So the idea, as I climb inside, pull this last thorn tree in behind me, and I'm effectively surrounded by acacia thorn trees. Apparently, that's a barrier for lions. At least it buys me a little bit of time, just enough time for the lion to get a little bit more hungry. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is just get this boat straightened up and get ready for this storm to hit. Take a look at what gear I've got with all my dive stuff that I can make use of and get out of this wetsuit. Here's all my dive gear, underwater camera equipment, and my shirt. Well, unfortunately, if it does come on to rain, that's my only shelter for tonight. I've come back to this valley that I passed through yesterday, and it looks like I've got enough grass for the horses, and there is fresh drinking water for me down there, which means there's obviously fresh water for the horses too. And then there's a series of beaver ponds, which I'm hoping will have brook trout in them. So not a bad place. If I'm lost and I'm stuck and I've got to survive, this will have enough going for both me and the horses. So now I finally get a chance to explain this corral that I've been putting the horses in. See, the best way to help them survive out here is by having this portable electrical fence. This is safe, effective, and it keeps the horses in where the grass is. And that's a good thing. I just got to put all these poles in and then the cable. And this is it. Just an electrical cable. Goes around each of these posts and I continue on. All I have to do then is make sure that it's free and clear and not touching the ground in any place, like branches that might be coming up. Clear those away and attach it to the battery. We've got ourselves a portable electric corral. Best way to look after horses when you're out like this.
The way to test and see if the fence is working and it's delivering its electric shock is to touch it using a leaf. You get the zap, but it's not as strong.
Okay, it's starting to rain on me, so I better move a little faster here. And this whole time that I've been here, I was thinking that I would probably have to make some kind of a lean-to or something like that just to get organized for the night. And completely forgetting that I've got a horse. I've got 2 horses, which means I've got horse tackle, I've got rope, and a canvas tarp, so I can save myself a lot of time and a heck of a lot of energy. So I don't have all that much tarp now that I think of it. I can't actually cut this rope because I'm going to need it for when I travel with the horses. Now the clove hitch over top of a piece of wood stuck inside the corner here. All right, well, this may not be the sturdiest shelter that I've ever built, but hopefully it'll keep the rain out. I tell you, it helps a lot having something as simple as a canvas tarp. Saves me a lot of energy. If I had to build a full-on lean-to, utilizing all the boughs and branches around here, there's lots of materials, but it would have worn me right out. This saves a lot of trouble. The problem with this shelter is all of the heat will just escape right out, so it's not really going to keep me very warm. And I don't have any matches, but that doesn't mean I can't make a fire. Whoa! Snow's getting soft. Well, I've come to this spot. It's a lot more protected than where I was when I let the dogs go. Dogs will be fine. They're gonna follow the trail out. As for me, I've got about 6 hours of daylight left, and by the looks of the sky, I should expect some bad weather. So I can't just sit out by the fire tonight. I'm gonna have to make some kind of a shelter. This is the worst time of year. Rain, freezing rain during the day, cold at night. It's a real bad time for hypothermia. Yeah, I guess here will have to do. I'm just gonna create a snow trench, and I think that will suffice. Maybe even keep me warm. It's so vitally important that I don't let myself sweat now. Extremely important. You sweat, you die. Maybe only just another couple of feet here. 2 feet and I'm done. They call it a snow trench, but it's a lot like making a coffin. Yeah, that'll do.
Warmer temperatures during the day is nice, but it also makes survival harder. Everything becomes wet and heavy. I begin to punch through the snow when I walk.
Moving. I think I'm gonna get rained on.
The dampness begins to seep into my bones, and this is the worst time of year for hypothermia.
Orange garbage bag, thermal blanket. So that's home for tonight. Wherever I end up having to survive, I've got to set myself a list of priorities. In a place like this, it's going to be shelter. I'm extremely exposed here. The wind is blowing in hard, it's cold off the water, and it could rain on me at any moment. It could also turn to snow. All I really have to work with in this old fishing camp is that shack behind me there. And there's no roof.
It never fails to bring me down a little, this worldwide juxtaposition of ocean refuse and ocean beauty.
That's pretty gross. It's all rotting and filled with mold on the inside here, so I don't think this is the spot. Lots of junk around here. Might as well make use of it. This'll help.
It's not hard to find refuse on the shores of all the world's oceans. The advantage is, of course, that without it, I'd be reduced to hiding behind a small hill somewhere to get out of the wind.
Well, it's a wind block and a rain block. And that's what I need. Lots of breeze coming through here, but start. It just shows you cannot, take chances on the weather. It's really difficult. So as it is right now, I mean, I'd like to start throwing a line in, see if I can catch some Arctic char. But that doesn't mean that this blue sky isn't going to leave me in 45 minutes. So what I better do first is get a shelter put up here. Then I can start trying for some food. One man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri. It's not so bad. Well, that gives me a place to get into when it starts raining again.